go to Joe now. So we hear the media talking about a bubble in real estate and that REOs are going to come out of the woodwork and we're going to all see values drop significantly. What's your thought on that? And, what are you seeing?
Yeah, for me personally, I mean, I'm involved with most of the REO banks and all that stuff. So they hit me up about a year ago, buy the software for $1,000 each bank. And I jumped into it, paid all that software money, and nothing's coming out. So the thing we're all talking about, we know it's there, that zombie inventory, but really nothing's hitting because our market is so short on inventory. In fact, somebody here just told me we're down to 500-600 houses on the market in the whole area. So everything is fluctuating because of this unknown.
Right.
Everybody's got an opinion. I watch YouTube too, and you see every expert saying it's going to crash down to 70%. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
There's too much desire and no inventory. And just like the rates, I mean, I was paying 12% on average for every mortgage loan I had. I had some at 21%. I didn't think that was bad. Now we're in the 7s, 8s, and everybody's like freaking out. They're not going to buy. So just like we're talking gas prices, everybody sees those. I'll never drive if it goes over $6. Well, everybody's driving, and you're going to be paying $7. So I think the market fluctuates with desire. So
if I were to ask you, what do I need to do right now to get me a listing or two before the end of the year, or to close 1 or 2 deals, but before the end of the year, what is your focus, and what would you tell me to do?
Well, basically, I mean, even for me, I mean, I thought it was going to be really slow right now. I thought these were going to be slow times. I've had an assistant for 18 years now. I said, go ahead, retire. It's going to be pretty slow for me. Take some time off.
Wow.
And everything kind of changed. But not to talk about EXP, but I used EXP software. And I put stuff in there every year, putting it in there, and kept thinking, this doesn't work. It's stupid. Why am I wasting my time?
Database mean?
Database. KV Core, which generates leads, artificial intelligence. So I just kept putting stuff in there, and all of a sudden now, I mean, my wife is calling my ex-employee, please help Joe. He's got 20-some listings. He's going crazy. I'm all by myself. So I realized software for me works better than anything else because I'm not a door knocker. I don't, I know it's very successful, but I saw what Ferris is doing. I said, okay, he's got the same software we do, use the EXP. But that software, if you use good software, whatever company you're at, and you have faith in it, and you do it religiously, just keep doing it, keep adding the database, it just pops. And right now for me, thank God, it's not me, it's up above, but it just popped. So now it's like 3 appointments today, listing appointments yesterday. It just keeps coming. So I'm very thankful, thank God again, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, long-term wise, you always have to do that. If you haven't done it, you're kind of already missing the boat. But if, we talked about going back to the basics, so I know you're not good at that, but would you recommend somebody go back to the basics?
Yeah, there's people door knocking, there's people doing all the, but I just know having database is the most important thing because the people that are calling me now, artificial intelligence is talking to them. And then they're like, are you going to come list my house or not? And I'm like, oh my God, this stuff is working. Because I'm like, I'm sorry. He goes, I've been trying to reach you for over 2 weeks. And I'm like, I kind of let it just run on autopilot, not realizing I got to step in. But I think if you're not a door knocker and that kind of stuff, then use software that will automate the process for you and you can let it work.
So I mean, if you don't have any leads to add on there, lead gen, open houses, but that door knocking you're saying, just to be able to add contacts on there, because if you add them on, they could be future clients of yours, and that's kind of what you're doing, right?
Exactly.
And we all have heard this. People that are want to sell the home, but they're locked into a 3% rate or 3.5% rate. How do you talk to these kind of individuals and motivate them? And what's your advice to somebody that sits in front of somebody that's giving them that objection and saying, well, if I move from this house, I'm not going to have this rate if I go to something, even though I need a bigger house?
Yeah, I think that's the big question, because I think I've just recently, went on a lot of listing appointments. They get ready to sign, and I get a call like, hey, cancel everything. I had no idea how bad those rates were going to affect me. So I think a lot of people are jumping into things not knowing, and then they talk to their lender like, what? I didn't know they're that high and what my payment's going to be. But I've been very fortunate. The majority of my listings now are people moving out of state. So there's a lot of people, you guys all know that are getting out of California. And now I can watch them. They're all coming back. So the biggest factor in that, I'm asking them, why would you come back when you said the next place is going to be the best place you ever went? And it's all about family and friends. They're like, man, we just miss our family and friends. We want to come back. But yeah, I when I do confront that and I tell them, hey, let's sell this with the rates, most of them back down now because of that rate is so high. So they're like, I had no idea. I don't want to move from Palmdale to Valencia and now triple my house payment. So, and something that you'd probably want to talk about, because I just asked Edgar this too. I mean, the biggest opportunity now is probably that assumable FHA loans.
Yeah, I mean,
Edgar
anything that's
can tell you about-
assumable is great as long as the person that's buying the home has the difference to pay the money. So you guys know what assumable loans are, or
Elaborate
the whole.
Elaborate a little bit.
So I'm sure you guys have been seeing this.
And you'd be assuming that other guy's mortgage he's had at the low rate. But I did want to tell you one real quick story, but it's a personal story. My daughter, she never bought a house. She's been renting forever. She just got a call 2 weeks ago. The owner died. They had to sell the house. And she's like, what do I do, Dad? And I'm like, well, you got to get a house. Why don't you buy a house? And she's like, we've tried lender after lender after lender, and they can't finance her husband. And I thought, man, okay. And I realized, I said, I keep hearing Edgar speaking. And I said, let me call Edgar. I said, Edgar, can you talk to my son-in-law? And he's like, in matter of, I swear, 45 minutes, he said, fully qualified, DU approved. Wow. What a wonderful story. But with my story here is like, don't believe one lender. If they say it can't be done, it can't be done. Don't follow that, because I did. I followed it for years. She never bought a house for years because she kept saying, we don't qualify. Edgar, in 15, 20 minutes, now I think we wrote an offer waiting for acceptance today. But check with lenders, see what's out there.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, what I'm relying again on the internet a lot. So I think even when open houses, we're talking about that. Mm-hmm. It's so easy now to go to YouTube and say how to do a successful open house. Yeah. And it teaches me so many things I never did before. I mean, now when I don't very seldom do open houses, but I let my whole team do them for me because everybody needs business and we're trying to share with everybody. But I said, wow, some of the things that they do is posting those open houses on Facebook and Instagram and all that. If you don't do nothing, just put it on Gavar, we have an open house, you're going to get crap results. If you post it everywhere, like with our software, you put EXP on the, what do you call it, KV Core, you hit a button that says open house and it posts to everybody's Facebook accounts. So those little things, there's other ways to do it. I just don't know how to do it other ways, but you just post things for your open houses and you're going to get great turnout. Go to YouTube if you said, well, I don't know how to do a good, successful one. Go to YouTube. There's going to be 20 videos how to do a successful open house. I see the successful ones show up a week early, door knock the neighborhood, put signs up a week early, going to be open house on Sunday. But all those little things improve your open house visits, I think.